We're home for Thanksgiving, y'all.
Please, Daddy.
I told you, when I'm finished, you can have what's left.
There won't be any left. There's never any left.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Top 5 rules for Thanksgiving Day in the Southern household. Amen. Rule number 1: we don't want no salt-free, sugar-free, gluten-free, lactose-free, spice-free, flavor-free food on Thanksgiving Day. Amen. We want all the sugars and all the fat. Rule number 2: if you are designated to make the macaroni and cheese, don't come in there with no macaroni and cheese out the box. Okay, you got to bake that thing. Rule number 3: we don't want no pumpkin pie, baby. Okay, we want sweet potato pie. Rule number 4: if you gonna be designated to bring the sweet tea, you need to make sure it's sweet, baby. We supposed to taste just enough diabetes when we take a sip. And rule number 5, now this one is near and dear to my heart. This one gets my pressure. Number 5: we don't want no stuffing. We want some dressing. Don't come in there with that stovetop stuffing. That ain't nothing but some soggy croutons, okay? Happy Thanksgiving, my baby.
We're home for Thanksgiving, y'all. All Over the Road New Orleans is brought to you by Coin Trader Inc. Mind your money.
Coming to Coin Trader Studios, we're bringing it live. And who am I? I go by the name of Darkest Night. And Jada Hoyos is the one who brings a sick beat, to which we're getting pumped for topics this week. So let me grab my great soda and take a sip, while I turn it over to Katie, Nick, Ted, and Vic. It's all over. We're all over the road. We got a brand new show, so just lo and behold, from the bayou to the city to the burbs to the swamps, you better know what time it is when you're hearing that.
Yes, Chicago, Illinois, the 70s, Chicago, Illinois, the 80s, the man in the air chair, the legendary Bob Del Giorno in the studio. Yes, indeed.
I never heard of him. Never heard of him.
This song, Dave?
Turn on his mic. I never heard of him.
Your mic is on. Talk into it.
I'm talking into the mic.
Do you remember this song? You don't remember this song?
No, I don't. No.
This is the night that Chicago died.
Oh, okay.
You played this record?
It was not one of the record-breaking hits of the week.
But you played this record.
Probably did. I played a lot of records.
Bob Del Giorno, ladies and gentlemen, he is the man that the legend. So this show is titled the Legend and the King. In the studios, our studio executive producer of the year. Welcome back, Nick. He hasn't been here in a while.
It's been a while. It feels good to be here, though. I'm happy to be here. It's a happy Thanksgiving.
It is.
I have a lot to be thankful for, and I'm thankful for this podcast, first and foremost.
3 seasons.
Yeah.
This is a special edition. And, of course, my daddy is here, Bob Del Giorno.
We just had a wonderful Thanksgiving meal. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yep.
No turducken, though. No turducken.
Well, not today, but it's another time. Oh, then no, that's better. This mic. I got it.
You got to talk into it is the problem there. Yeah.
Well, no.
And, of course, the clairvoyant football man, Caleb, Mr. Clairvoyance. Let's hear it for Caleb. We're going to do a football section and make some picks.
Caleb.
This is the biggest football weekend of the weekend, by the way, the Thanksgiving weekend, because that's when the NFL starts filtering out some of the bad teams, and you got all the college rivalry games like Michigan, Michigan State, or Ohio State, Michigan, and all that kind of stuff. And
so what's the game of the week? Michigan,
Ohio State is the game of the week. We're not doing sports yet, okay? And then, of course, I am. Everybody knows who I am. I am the king of all podcasting. Victor Del Giorno, son of Bob Del Giorno, who's the legend. I'm the king. So let's get it on now. Come on.
Ain't got no home. Happy Thanksgiving.
Turn on the transmitter.
The transmitter's on.
The transmitter's on.
Okay. Right. You know, Daddy, I don't know if you remember this. You know, I was thinking about we could maybe think about some Thanksgiving memories of the past when we were growing up. Do you have any that come to mind to you?
Well, depends on where we were at the time.
Well,
we were all over the place.
Pick a place, yeah.
I liked when we lived in off the golf course. What was that, Chateau?
Yeah, Kenna.
And it would be nice because, especially during football season, at halftime, we'd go out and throw the football on the 17th green. Mm-hmm. And the golfers just did not enjoy that at all.
No, they did not.
Out there playing football on their green. But that was a great place.
We played on the fairway.
Well, we go down on the green, too.
No, we were on the green. Trust me, we're never on the green.
Okay.
We lived on the tee. So we would play between the tees. Between the women's tee and the men's tee.
Whatever, we were all over the darn golf course.
They didn't like
sure.
that.
No.
They didn't like that.
So that was a lot of fun. That was fun.
Well, what about the ones when we used to...
Woland, we were in Fort Wayne, Indiana, And that was a nice place to live, too.
Well, the places, remember when we had snow on the ground, which is most places. It had snow. Remember, we'd go at halftime and we'd throw the ball around in the snow.
Well, that was up in Chicago, but you guys were older then.
Yeah. And then, if you guys don't know this, Nick and Caleb, up north, you don't really need a freezer because during the winter, you just take your Thanksgiving leftovers and you just put it in the garage because the garage is cold enough to.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah,
I remember doing
You just set it,
yeah.
you put it in a pot, and you just set it in the garage.
I've seen people with
sea level.
Yeah.
I've seen people where they'll like store beers like in the snow out in front of their house or wine or whatever. That's cool.
We used to go ice fishing. Remember, I took you ice fishing a couple times.
Oh, man, ice fishing.
That's all they did was complain all the time.
No. Let me tell you his idea of taking his son ice fishing. Okay, you go out, you dig the holes in the ice. And you
we had an auger. You didn't have to dig nothing. You just turn the auger.
You got to cut the hole. Yeah. Then you put in this thing that's called a tip up. All right, the tip up, you put the bait in there, and when the fish hits the bait, a little flag goes up. And what he does is he sits in the car with binoculars and he looks at all his tip ups.
Well,
you
got a better idea.
And when the tip up went up, he goes, Vic, go get the fish.
He's delegating, He's delegating responsibility.
So he'd go out there.
Any
and
good
pull
leader
the thing
does
up.
that.
Half the time he'd get it halfway up and he'd lose the fish. I just, you got to pull it up and get it on the ice. Once it gets on the ice, it's not going. He says, well, what do I do, Daddy, when I got it on the ice? I says, you take it off the hook and kick it in the ice hole.
That's right.
He says, can you say that?
You kick it in the ice hole.
This is the stuff. This is the stuff that when I talked to Donnie Bourgeois. Donnie Bourgeois is Donnie Bourgeois. Remember he was Stu Shear's brother-in-law.
The bug man.
Remember him?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I tell him about that. I go, Donnie, when are you going to take me fishing? He's a great fisherman. He's a great fisherman. He goes, I'm going to take us. If you take me, will you not yell at me like my daddy used to? He used to yell at me. What fish? Remember, I'd always fall in the water. I'd fall out the boat. When are we going to eat?
Getting tangled in the trees. You feel like a big getting tangled in the trees guy.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you one of my.
That's why I always say, Vic, stick with baseball. That was your game.
It turned out pretty good.
Baseball.
I used it on the last show. Stick with baseball.
Did you?
Yeah, you'll be hearing about that in the future. I had a Thanksgiving memory. Of course, when I was in the radio business, we did a lot of moving around too. We did actually more moving around than you did. Yeah, because we were all over the place. We were in Memphis. We were in Dallas. We were in Chicago. We were in Los Angeles.
Sure,
we were in Knoxville.
Amarillo.
Yeah, Amarillo. I mean, we were all over the place. And
however, the difference was I didn't have the law chasing me.
No.
They were not on my case.
Okay. That's a layer to the story that I've never heard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But you were on a move. That's good.
I was always am.
Let's give thanks for the getaway driver.
So this is one thing. We lived in Chicago, in Los Angeles. Me, Martha, and the girls. All right, and I had a job where I was just barely getting by because of the cost of living. So I wrote this syndicated radio show for Lisa Gibbons called The Blockbuster.
I remember that.
Top 25. I created it, wrote it, presented it to her. I knew Lisa very well. She loved it. She wanted to do it. And so the time came we were going to do the show. We're supposed to be partners in the show. I get a letter from one of her attorneys, and her attorney's saying, well, we understand that you got the show and you and Lisa are partners. We are here for with terminating your partnership. Here's a check for such and such. If you don't like this idea, well, then you're more than happy to take us to court. Well, I didn't have two nickels to rub together, so I couldn't fight him, but it was more money than I've ever seen. So I took it, and it was, and I went the day before Thanksgiving and bought my first big screen TV. Big screen TV in California. I watched all the games on my big screen. And that was the year when Leon Lett, the snow game in Dallas, when he fumbled the ball forward and Dallas ended up losing the game, it was a block punt. And all he had to do was stay away from it. And as his team starts, get away from it. No, he picks it up and touches it. The other guy picks it up, runs it for a touchdown. And so that was a famous game. So that's one of my big Thanksgiving memories. So it's one of my bigger ones.
I was going to say the one you told us earlier today about you went to it was you and Bobby and your dad.
Right, yeah.
And you said it snowed like crazy and you couldn't find your car after the game.
Yeah, they had a blizzard in the game. It was, I believe it was Lions Vikings. I can't remember.
This Thanksgiving, put everything you have on the Detroit Lions. Be a man.
It was a Lions game. I know. I don't know.
And we used to sit in the end zone because Barney Ailes used to get us the tickets. He was one of Dad's friends. He lived in Detroit.
And we used to like to try to catch the field goals.
Well, remember, I did catch one.
That was before the nets.
Pre-nets.
Yeah.
Pre-nets. I did catch one time.
That's right, you did.
And some guy bit me, remember, at the bottom of the pile.
Oh, my God.
A grown man bit me. I was a child and took the ball and starts running up the aisle with it.
He wanted that bird.
He wanted it. He wanted it. So that's maybe an unpleasant
memory.
memory.
Tried to...
What?
You try to get him?
Kick him in the...
Try to kick him?
private zone. Do you remember? Took a swing at him.
I might have.
You
took the ball from me. I was like 9 years old.
If I would have gotten bit, I would have been concerned also.
Well, I had gloves on.
As Vic,
still,
but he bit me. He bit me through the glove.
As Vic said, I wanted to kick him in the nuts, Daddy.
That's right. That's right. No, yes, indeed, I did. I did say that. So it was a blizzard game, the biting game.
So I remember the important points.
All very crucial memories.
That was a good memory.
That was a good memory. Yeah, those games were great. Remember, you had to get layered up with your insulated underwear and all that stuff. Remember?
You had to get on the mudans. That was the Italian word for long underwear. Mudans. Yeah.
So what would this weekend be without, guys? This is probably the biggest football weekend of the year. Okay, you got college football, all the rivalries. You got Ohio State, Michigan. You got Texas State, or I don't know, all the rivalries, whoever the rivalries are. And of course, this is when the NFL, we start sorting out who are the good teams.
There's contenders and pretenders.
So Caleb over here, found these cards. Remember these cards, Danny?
Parlay tickets.
Yeah, they're called parlay tickets.
I like them. They're nice.
Football handicaps, and it's got all the college games and the pro games. And the idea is to pick three winners to win. So if you bet $20, you pick 3, you win $120. And that's what I usually do, right, Caleb?
And you know the odds of winning on those are?
I don't know. It's right here.
Oh, they got them on the back?
Yeah, on the back. Yeah, on the back.
Okay.
That was hailed to the victors, by the way.
If you can cover 3, you get 6 points.
Yeah,
if you can cover 4, you get 10, 11, so on and so forth.
It's a tough bet.
It is.
It's a tough. And you know what? I'm looking at all this, and the bottom line, you got 3 teams. You got Ohio State, you got Georgia, and you got Alabama.
I think Ohio State right now is the best team in the country.
I think they are. What do you think?
Okay, so that first game, guys. What do you think? I'm definitely going to do something on this first game. Ohio State, Michigan. Now, keep in mind, Harbaugh has never beaten Ohio State. Never.
And he never will.
Home or away. They're on the teaser card.
Not going to happen.
I believe the real spread is 6, but on this card it's 8, because that's how they're able to pay you the extra money if you hit 3 games. So, who do you like in that game, Nikki?
Out of Ohio State, Michigan?
Ohio State, Michigan. That's a big game. Who do you like?
That 8-point spread feels big, but Ohio State just feels like they got it going on right now, so I would pick Ohio State.
Ohio State for Nick. Who do you like? You've been on Ohio State a lot, Caleb, this year.
All the way. I've only lost one.
And you've been giving up the big points.
Yeah. I've only lost once.
Talk a little closer to the mic. So what was the game where you gave a lot of points and they covered? Was it 28 they gave once and you covered?
Nah, they laid 21 and they covered. They blew out by, I want to say, over 30.
Michigan State they beat the crap out of.
Yeah.
That was last week. Michigan State beat Michigan.
It was 49-0 at halftime.
Yeah, Michigan State got beat to smithereens by Ohio State last week. So what makes you think that Michigan's going to be able to hang with them this week when Michigan lost to Michigan State? Who do you like in that game, Danny?
Well, I don't know. Obviously, I like Ohio State, but they're playing at Michigan.
Yes, they are.
You've been there. We went to a lot of games.
Yeah, but it's not that. Let me tell you, they're
still
talent
playing.
Is talent.
Out there in Ann Arbor?
Talent is talent. So you like the 8 points then? You like Michigan in the 8?
I like the 8 points.
All right, Daddy likes the 8. Hey, that's what this is all about.
Exactly
that's
what
a tough place to play.
I'm definitely going to play this game. Okay? And Michigan has screwed me over and over again. Ask Caleb. Last week I stayed off them, and I can't stand them. I think Stroud is going to win the Heisman Trophy, their quarterback. I think he's going to win the Heisman Trophy. I think they're the best team in the country, and I think they'll win that game by 3 touchdowns. And you can book it. That's a lock. Sorry, Daddy. All right, the next big game in college. We're going to do 3 college, 3 pro. Daddy, you start. What else you like in the college? Look at the college one. Do you like any of those?
My favorite game?
The crowd's in a frenzy. Listen to him. They're in a frenzy. That's the crowd background. You like that?
I do. They're lathered up to a frenzy.
Lathered up, these people.
About 50 games on here.
Yeah, well, you don't see one that you like? Whatever you do. Like Oregon, don't bet on Oregon, whatever you do.
Yeah?
Don't ever bet on Oregon.
Especially after last week.
They never cover.
Vic, didn't you bet Oregon last week, was it?
Well, I won one time with them, and then I stayed with them, and they got me.
This, not to jump in, but this Oklahoma State, Oklahoma should be...
That's an interesting game.
That should be a tough one, because OK State's supposedly good this year. I haven't been watching too much college football.
It's a big rivalry game. They got a big-time offense. They got 2 wide receivers that are NFL ready.
That really sticks out to me as a potential upset.
All right, let's talk about that. Who do you like in that game? Oklahoma State. They're at home. They're laying 4 to Oklahoma.
Sheesh.
Now, Oklahoma had that Caleb, what's his name? Matthews. He's their running, throwing RPO quarterback. And then they had, who's the other guy? Oh, jeez. Can't remember his name. Anyway, they've been going back and forth with quarterbacks at Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma wins that game.
I would think so, too.
In points? I don't care where they're playing.
They got Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, Rattler.
And Caleb Williams.
Yeah, Caleb Williams. He was playing. They've been going back and forth.
Yeah.
Williams is a freshman.
Yeah.
Rattler's an upperclassman. But I think Oklahoma's going to win that game.
Yeah, I would think the Chalk would win that game. I would think.
Oh, can Notre Dame beat the spread on Stanford 21 points?
I don't think so.
Home.
That's a big, that is a
big spread. That's a big spread.
Let me tell you this. I said that last week, and they blew somebody out. Who did they blow out last week?
Oh, God.
Notre Dame won by 40 last week.
Oh, I know.
That was the first game that they actually, scored a bunch of points and won by a lot. Stanford, that's a lot of points, but Stanford's terrible.
Michigan State and Penn State is a 1-point spread.
So, all right. So, Daddy, who do you like at Oklahoma State?
I'm going to take State. Oklahoma State.
And you're going to lay 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
I love that.
There's Daddy's pick. Dad's pretty good, though. He's pretty good. Who do you like at that, Caleb?
I'm going to have to go with Oklahoma on that because Oklahoma covered against Iowa State.
I'm with you on that one.
Well, that's a good point, but I'm going to go with State.
Okay. What about you, Nicholas?
I'm going to take Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. This is our football picks. Thanksgiving weekend. You're listening to our football picks on all the Road to New Orleans podcast on the Kickball Podcast.
But what everybody wants us to get to, and I know that they're waiting for us to get to it.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm driving here.
Okay.
Okay, so you like Oklahoma? You like Oklahoma too? So
I like Oklahoma.
There's 3 Oklahomas and Daddy's.
I'll stay with State.
You're the lone wolf.
Sooner.
Let me hear you howl. You're the lone wolf.
I'm the winner.
Howl.
The winner.
You're the lone wolf, Daddy. Howl. Howl.
I'm not a wolf.
You're the lone wolf. You're the only one that.
I'm supposed to do that.
You're supposed to do the howl. Format? Yes. You're supposed to do the howl because you're the lone wolf. That's an owl.
Terrifying.
I don't do wolf.
A terrifying.
I said
wolf.
owl.
I don't do wolf. I do owls.
Okay.
He's a bird of prey.
I'm the owl.
All right. Here's
you know
another
what
one.
the owl is, don't you?
This is an interesting one. You ready for this one? Okay, we're going to do a West Coast game. You got BYU on the road.
I like this.
BYU on the road at the Coliseum playing USC.
I hate them. They suck.
They're bad.
They suck.
Yeah, they're bad.
Yeah,
USC is not a very good team at all.
They're at home getting 7 points
I don't care.
against BYU.
What a fall from grace.
Who do you
though.
like in that game, Nicholas?
I'm gonna take BYU just because I like the Cougs.
Nick likes the Cougs.
I root for the Cougs.
What about you, Caleb? Who do you like in that one?
I think the Cougars are a fan of me, so I'm going with
There you
BYU.
Do you like the Cougs too?
How's Bayou? That's what I'm taking.
You're the
How's
You're
Bayou?
BYU too?
Oh, yeah. How's Bayou?
Let me tell you something.
Are we unanimous on this?
Let me tell you something. Thanksgiving weekend at home, USC in their history has only lost 12 games in 100 and something years. I am
USC.
going with the Trojans.
All right.
Oh,
Nah.
He's a lone wolf.
the lone wolf. J.D. Powers and Associates has called me the lone wolf. All right, here it is. One more. This is the big one. Then we'll get to the pros. Got to do this one. LSU at home, getting points.
That's what I'm liking.
In Death Valley against Texas A&M. Now, one thing I will tell you this. If you go by on paper, by talent and talent alone, LSU should win this game hands down. They got the talent. But, the point spread doesn't lie. Daddy, we'll start with Daddy. Who do you like in LSU?
I think Texas A&M is going to think they're playing Alabama.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to win.
Okay, but they're laying 7.
I know.
And then they're away.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Texas A&M. That's
me.
me.
Cut out here.
Let me get the owl back. He'll call somebody.
We still hear you.
I actually, at home, I have owls that live all around my house.
must hit a button or
And I
something.
talk to them at night. I go outside at,
Are they
midnight.
screeching owls?
No, they're hooting owls.
No.
We go out and have a hoot.
Yeah, you don't see any rodents around here. Rodents don't exist.
No.
Big ass owls.
I'm gonna go ahead and pile on with that and concur and also go with A&M
You're going with A&M
over my Tigers, which I don't like betting against Tigers, but
Who did you go
things
with?
haven't
You
been good
went
lately.
A&M.
You went with A&M. So another A&M. What about you, Caleb? You like?
I say Tigers at home all day.
I'm with Caleb. I like the Tigers this weekend.
I
When
want
they
them
played Alabama, they were getting 28 points.
Yeah.
I freaking jumped all over that. You kidding me? No way, 28 points.
You think the Tigers are going to play for the coach last game?
I just think at home,
Coach
first of all,
Orgeron saying
this weekend in the old days was the rivalry game between LSU and Arkansas. Remember that went on for years. It was always Thanksgiving weekend. It was always on the Friday.
Battle of the Boot.
It was the Battle of the Boot.
That's right.
So no, I mean this is definitely LSU's gonna win the game outright, and to get 7 points at home is a lot of points. All right,
now the one we've all been waiting on,
all right,
Memphis and Tulane.
You want to do Memphis Tulane?
I think we should just talk about it real quick. Tulane's been pretty bad this year, so I'm gonna take Memphis because Memphis is at home.
All right, you like Memphis. And of course, I got ties with the Memphis program. You know that,
Yeah,
Nick.
I do.
Kayla, what do you think of that game? Memphis and Tulane. Memphis and Tulane.
I'm gonna have to say Memphis on this one, laying 7 at home.
Yeah.
Okay, so
feels like a safe
you're
bet.
on Memphis too, right?
Correct. I
Okay.
couldn't afford to go to Tulane.
Okay.
Can't afford to bet on them either.
That's right.
It's a shame. Tulane's had a good start to the season.
They did. They had that
They
real
played
close
good.
game with Oklahoma.
They
where
really
won.
did.
They did.
But they've lost their whoops. What was that?
Well, but you know,
Chutzpah?
for as bad as Tulane's program is, they got 3 or 4 guys in the NFL right now.
Really?
They do, yeah.
This season?
Yeah, they got 3 or 4 guys in the NFL. Okay, so you're on. Who did you get, Nick?
I think we're all unanimous on Memphis.
On Memphis.
Yeah.
What's the spread? I didn't even look at it.
Laying
What's the-
7 at home.
7? That's it?
Yeah,
Oh,
7.
no, Memphis. That's Memphis all the way.
Yeah, that's big money,
Memphis
it
all the
feels
way.
like.
So that concludes our Thanksgiving weekend college picks. Now it's time to go to the NFL. The NFL, you never know what's going to happen. Football league,
You never do.
you never know. Okay, we're gonna pick a couple games, Daddy. We're gonna start with you. This is a marquee game. New England at home playing the Titans without their running back, laying 7 points. Who
New
you like?
England.
You like New England
at
Who
home.
do you like on that one, Nick?
New England.
I agree. Tennessee looked really bad last week. They played in the rain, but they played horribly against the Texans. I think
Yeah,
they got beat by
they
the
did.
Texans. They would probably want to bounce back, but New England's like on fire right now.
You too?
Yeah, New
Caleb?
England.
As much as I don't like Belichick's going to win that game by more than 7.
You like New England too?
I do.
Well,
you're gonna-
Tennessee's going to bounce back. I'm going with the Titans. The pound for pound, the best team in the AFC.
The lone wolf.
All right.
I like that you can pick the over-unders on these.
You can.
Absolutely.
All right, here's another big game. We got two more. This is another big game. You got San Francisco, playoff implications here.
Yeah.
At home, Levi Stadium, laying 3 to the Vikings. Vikings getting 3 points on the road. What do you like about that one? Daddy, what do you think of that one?
San Francisco at home.
Yeah, because they kind of got to go with the running game.
No.
They can run the ball. And Jimmy Garoppolo is a quarterback, went to Rolling
I
Meadows
love
High
him.
School. You've been to a few Rolling Meadows games, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Jimmy Garoppolo went to Rolling Meadows. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I do. I remember.
Who do you like in that one, Caleb? San Francisco. You like the Niners. You've been kind of pro-Niner all year. What do you think?
I haven't betting the Niners. I've been winning the
No?
Niners, but I'm going to go with Minnesota because I'm a Vikings fan, man.
Okay, so you're going with the Vikes.
I know it's not smart to
Purple
put your
people
money.
eaters.
Okay, and did you make your pick, Nick?
I also am going with Minnesota. Just last week they had an ugly game with Green Bay and came through, and I think San Francisco might lay an egg this week.
Well, I'm sticking with Daddy at home. I like San Francisco.
Yeah.
I do. I think they have a running game. I think they've got a better defense, and I think that's a pretty safe game. They're at home only giving 3 points. They're going to win by a touchdown, probably.
I would
All right,
take
the last
the under.
game. The last game.
I think we should address Green Bay at the Rams.
Okay, let's do that. Green Bay's a big game. Yeah, Green Bay Rams. Good. Let's you start off then, Caleb. What was your idea? Green Bay Rams. Green Bay's at home laying 1 point.
Ooh.
Rodgers is playing. So,
Well, I believe the spread's actually, it's either 2.5 or 3, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll take the 1 at home. And I think Green Bay's going to take it home.
no, the Rams are getting a point.
I understand that Green Bay's laying a point is what I mean.
Yeah, okay, so you're taking Green Bay.
Yes.
All right, what about you, Daddy?
Packers at home. Packers at home.
Packers at home. What do you think?
I don't know. The Rams have been all over the place.
Good.
I'm gonna take the Rams. I'm gonna be the lone wolf.
I didn't even pick yet. I didn't even pick yet.
I jumped the gun.
I'm taking Green Bay. Go ahead.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Now, by the time you hear this, probably the game will be taking place if you happen to download it quickly. But let's do one more game. Tonight's game. All right, the Saints at home, our very own New Orleans Saints at home. With, I don't know who's even playing. They're playing with like half of a taxi squad. But let's just pick who do you think's going to win. Okay, we don't have a spread here. Let's just think who you think's going to win outright. Let's pick a winner.
I hate
for
to
the
do
game
it,
tonight.
Bills. I hate to do it, but Bills.
Okay, Kent, you're going Bills. What about you, Caleb? Bills or the Saints?
Where are we playing? We playing at home or we playing away?
Playing at home today.
Playing at home. Tony Jones is a running back.
I'm hoping they throw Taysom Hill in at quarterback for the majority of the game, and I hope the Saints take it
You
home.
taking the Saints?
The Saints are marching in.
I agree. They need to get number 7 in that game and play him.
I know.
That's what I'm talking
Play
about.
him
I
hard.
agree.
Yeah, I do.
And
I
I'm
agree.
going to pick the Saints.
He's with the Saints.
Saints.
Well, God.
The autumn wind is a saint.
Get number 7 out there.
The autumn wind is a saint.
Because we got the defense. We have a great defense.
Defense is phenomenal.
They used to be great. They haven't been the last few weeks. So it's time for me to pick. I'll tell you what I think is going to happen tonight. Okay, they're putrid at home. They can't win a home game. They have no players.
Wait till the night.
Sean Payton has had his best coaching year. At the same time, has worst coaching year at the same year. But they do play hard. It is Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving!
And if you believe in miracles, it could happen. I'm going Saints. Someone's a lone wolf. Who is it?
It's me! Josh Allen, 4 touchdowns on the night. Stephon Diggs, 74 yards with 1 touchdown. And the New Orleans Saints, who that nation just barely avoids getting shut out, losing 31-6 to the Buffalo Bills.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thanks for listening to this beautiful Thanksgiving version with my daddy, the legend, Bob Del Giorno. Thank you, Dad.
As they say in Turkey, a la Smoladic.
What was it?
They say that.
So long.
Do the thing about the donkey. What was the thing about the donkey? The donkey mean?
Oh, sikam da na shakazam pasha shulashek. Heidi kutamia.
Okay, that's...
Sulali sikiyamadi.
Okay, that's not what I was looking for. Go ahead. Thank you, Caleb, for coming in, and thanks for getting the cards and all the connections you have in the seedy underbelly of New Orleans.
10-4.
Victor Del Giorno, the king of all podcasting, bestowed on me. I can't even talk tonight.
Go say.
Like J.D. Pars and Associates saying, Happy Thanksgiving.
Come on, Coin Trader Studios, we're bringing it live. And who am I? I go by the name of Darkest Night. And Jada Hoyos is the one who brings a sick beat, to which we're getting pumped for topics this week. So let me grab my Greg soda and take a sip, while I turn it over to Kate, Nick, Ted, and Vic. It's all over. We're all over the road. We got a brand new show, so just lo and behold, from the bayou to the city to the burbs to the swamps, you better know what time it is when you're hearing that.
Go Tigers. And a Happy New Year, you filthy animal.
Happy Thanksgiving. God bless you, and may God protect our troops. And I'm heading to a food kitchen to serve meals right now. Thank you for your time and effort. I'll have plenty of time to talk to you later. Thank you. Thank you.
And other leaders, when will you answer our questions, sir?
All over the road, their staff and management would like to thank you for 2 seasons, embarking on season 3. Thanks from all over the road. This is the announcer guy speaking.
Put everything you have on the Detroit Lions. Be a man.
All Over the Road New Orleans is brought to you by Coin Trader Inc. Mind your money.